Welcome to Emojinomics. Today we're going to talk about the extraordinary life of pirates and how they invented various political, administrative, and economic mechanisms to navigate the seven seas. You think democracy, labor rights, and health insurance were invented by enlightened politicians in the 18th century? Wrong. They were invented by pirates in the 17th century. Murderers, thieves, and criminals of the seas created the fairest wealth distribution system the world has ever seen. While European kings exploited peasants to death, pirates had democratic elections, health insurance, retirement, and workers' compensation. Today we'll discover why sea bandits were more ethical than the good men on land. And the answer isn't moral, it's neuroscience, it's behavioral economics, it's the psychology of justice. Because pirates accidentally discovered something science would only prove 300 years later. Justice isn't a moral luxury, it's an economic efficiency tool.
First, let's destroy your image of pirates. Forget Jack Sparrow, forget Hook. Reality was more organized than any modern company. Pirates had written code called articles or Jamaica Discipline. And it wasn't a suggestion, it was a constitution. You signed before boarding the ship. And here comes the first behavioral economics insight, commitment device. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky discovered humans are terrible at self-control. We need external mechanisms to force us to cooperate. Signing the pirate code was public commitment. You declared in front of everyone, I accept these rules. Psychologists call this public commitment, the strongest form of commitment. A 1988 study showed people who declare a goal publicly are 65% more likely to follow through. Pirates knew this in 1700. Public signature equals social pressure equals forced cooperation.
Bartholomew Roberts, Black Bart, captured 400 ships in 3 years and had an 11-article code that was scientifically genius. Article 1. Every man has a vote in affairs of moment, an equal right to fresh provisions and strong liquors. Neuroscience discovered in 2003, humans have innate inequity aversion. The anterior insula, brain region linked to disgust, activated when someone saw unfair distribution. Meaning, injustice doesn't make us sad, it makes us disgusted. It's a physical reaction, not philosophical. Pirates intuitively avoided this by giving equal vote to all. This avoided what economists call inequity aversion, when inequality destroys cooperation. And cooperation was everything on a ship where you depend on the person next to you to not die. Article 2. Lights and candles out at 8 p.m. Anyone who wants to drink after that does it on deck without light. This solves what economists call present bias. Your brain now wants to drink, but your brain tomorrow needs to be sober to not die in combat. Limbic system, emotional, wants pleasure now. Prefrontal cortex, rational, wants survival later. Pirate code was literally regulation of the brain's internal conflict. And notice the subtlety. It doesn't prohibit drinking, it prohibits doing it in a way that bothers others. It's a nudge, behavioral push. Richard Thaler would win a Nobel for this in 2017. Pirates did it in 1720. But here comes the part that'll blow your mind, the loot division. And this involves one of the most famous experiments in behavioral economics. 1982, Werner Guth creates the ultimatum game. It works like this. You receive $100. You have to offer part to your partner. If they accept, both keep what was agreed. If they refuse, nobody gets anything. Logically, partners should accept anything. $1 is better than 0, right? Wrong. If you offer less than 30%, most people refuse. They prefer to lose everything than accept an unfair offer. This destroyed classical economic theory. Homo economicus, perfectly rational human, doesn't exist. Humans sacrifice money to punish injustice. It's emotional, not rational. And pirates already knew. Their share system was perfectly calibrated for the ultimatum game. Captain, 2 shares. Officers, 1.5 shares. Sailors, 1 share. Maximum difference, 2x. This falls exactly in the ultimatum game acceptance zone. Differences up to 3x are seen as fair. Above that, revolt. Pirates accidentally discovered the psychological threshold of fairness and avoided mutinies because of it.
Imagine a Royal Navy sailor seeing the captain earn 50 times more. The amygdala would be activated. He would feel anger, resentment, and a desire to sabotage. Screw that guy, I hope he dies. But when a pirate sailor saw the captain earn twice as much, the prefrontal cortex processed, it's fair because he has more responsibility. Ventral striatum activated. Reward system, I want to protect this guy. That's the difference. It's not morality, it's brain chemistry. Moderate inequality equals oxytocin and cooperation. Extreme inequality equals cortisol and betrayal. And there's another concept, reciprocity. Ernst Fair proved humans are strategic altruists. We cooperate if the other cooperates back. That's what we call conditional cooperation. I'll help you if you help me. It's not pure altruism. It's an implicit social contract. The pirate sharing system guaranteed this. Everyone knows that everyone will receive fairly. Therefore, everyone cooperates. It's the perfect Nash equilibrium. Nobody has an incentive to betray. And now we enter the most fascinating part from an emotional point of view, compensation for damages caused on raids on the high seas, because this deals with fear, the most primitive emotion.
Kahneman and Tversky discovered loss hurts 2 times more than equivalent gain pleases. Losing $100 causes psychological pain greater than the pleasure of winning $100. And losing a body part? That's catastrophic loss, generates existential terror. Fear of mutilation would activate the amygdala so intensely that a sailor would panic or desert, unless you guarantee compensation in advance. Knowing exactly how much you'll receive if mutilated makes the prefrontal cortex modulate amygdala fear. Okay, if I lose an arm, I get 600 coins. I can survive on that. Worth the risk. This is uncertainty reduction. Kahneman proved humans hate uncertainty more than they hate certain bad outcomes. Classic experiment, people prefer certain shock of 5 volts to 50% chance of 3 volt shock. Certainty is less stressful than uncertainty. Pirate code eliminated uncertainty. If I lose arm, I receive X. Clear conditional. Amygdala calms down, soldier fights. Royal Navy sailor thinks before battle. If I lose a leg, I become a street beggar. Family starves, I die of infection in a gutter. I must desert. Pirate sailor thinks, if I lose leg, I get 500 coins, buy land, retire. Family secure. Worth it to fight. That's the difference. Insurance isn't charity, it's emotional management. It's transforming paralyzing terror into calculated risk. And permanent disability pension? This deals with another bias, temporal discounting. Humans value present much more than the future. $100 today greater than $150 in a year. It's irrational, but it's real. Problem: if you become disabled, your future self needs money, but your present self doesn't care about the future. Pirate Solution forces you to save for the future via compulsory system. Part of the loot automatically goes to pension fund. This is libertarian paternalism, a nudge that forces beneficial behavior. Richard Thaler recommends this for retirement today. Pirates did it in 1690.
But the most emotionally revolutionary thing? Democracy. Because voting isn't just political decision, it's psychological necessity. Edward Deci and Richard Ryan created self-determination theory in 1985. They discovered humans have 3 basic psychological needs. 1. Autonomy. feeling control over own life. 2. Competence, feeling capable. 3. Belonging, social connection. Pirate democracy fulfilled all 3. Voting for captain equals autonomy. I decide who leads me. It wasn't imposed. It's not tyranny. Neuroimaging shows when people feel autonomy, the VMPFC, ventromedial prefrontal cortex, activates, region linked to reward and motivation. Translation: voting releases dopamine, makes you feel in control, and person in control works more. Modern corporate studies prove companies with democratic participation have 20 to 30% higher productivity. Pirates discovered this empirically. Henry Avery started as common sailor, led a mutiny, was elected captain, captured 200 million pounds. This is recognized competence. You don't need to be born noble. You need to be good. System rewards skill, not blood. And when the system is meritocratic, the brain releases dopamine, seeing progress. My effort matters. I can rise. This motivates absurdly. Compare with monarchy. No matter how good you are, you'll always be a peasant. This generates learned helplessness. Person gives up. And belonging. Pirate code created effective equality. Captain ate same food, slept in same type of cabin, fought alongside. He was primus inter pares, first among equals. This releases oxytocin, social bonding hormone. Same hormone as mother with baby, couple in love. It creates emotional loyalty, not rational. And emotional loyalty is stronger than fear. That's why pirates fought like crazy, not for money, for brothers. And the quartermaster was the guardian of fairness monitoring. Primate studies show monkeys have innate sense of justice. In one experiment, monkey receives cucumber for a task. Next to it, another receives grape for the same task. First monkey stops cooperating, gets furious, throws cucumber back, prefers nothing to accepting injustice. The quartermaster was existent to guarantee no one received a cucumber while another gets grape. He was literally the neuro-emotional guardian of cooperation.
So why did bandits create a more just system than governments? 3 neuroscientific reasons. In monarchy, king never goes to war. It's what we call principal-agent problem. King, principal, sends soldier, agent, to die. But incentives are opposite. King wants victory, soldier wants to survive. On pirate ship, captain is there. If ship sinks, he dies. This is aligned incentives, perfect alignment. And experimental economics proved when incentives are aligned, cooperation rises 80%. When misaligned, it collapses. Pirates had 95+% cooperation because everyone knew collective success equals individual success. Impossible to screw the group and get away unscathed. Second, exit option. Robert Axelrod proved in the Prisoner's Dilemma tournament, cooperation emerges when there are repeated interactions and possibility to change partners. If you're stuck with a jerk partner, like a feudal serf, they can exploit you. But if you can switch partners, like a pirate changing ships, they need to treat you well or you leave. This creates reputation economy. Fair captain attracts best crewmates. Tyrant captain gets stuck with incompetence and dies. It's natural selection applied to social systems. Just structures survive. Unjust ones die. And the deepest reason is shared fate. Jamil Zaki, Stanford neuroscientist, discovered empathy isn't fixed, it's contextual, and shared adversity is the greatest activator. When you and I face the same danger, my brain processes you as extension of me. The temporal parietal junction, empathy region, hyperactivates. Translation: at sea, where everyone can die equally, class barriers fall. Brain can't maintain me superior, you inferior, when both are in the same shit. That's why army has camaraderie. That's why disasters unite people. And that's why pirates, living in constant danger, created equality. So pirate justice wasn't planned, it was emergent. Combined, inequity aversion plus need for autonomy plus shared adversity plus aligned incentives, and the result was fairer system than political philosophers could design, not because pirates were saints, but because they needed to cooperate to survive. And the human brain rewards cooperation in a context of interdependence.
So what's the emotional legacy of pirates? They proved something science would only confirm centuries later. Justice isn't a luxury, it's cooperation technology. When a system fulfills these four variables, cooperation emerges. When it fails in one, it collapses. Monarchies failed in all. Pirates got all right by accident. And the heartbreaking irony, the criminals who discovered the formula for human cooperation were hunted by the civilized, who never understood that exploitation destroys efficiency. European empires would collapse from extreme inequality generating revolts. Pirate ships functioned for decades with zero internal mutinies. Who really understood human nature? The final lesson isn't be pirates. It's fair systems aren't a moral choice. They're an economic choice. Your brain has been programmed for 300,000 years to cooperate when the system is fair and resist when it's unjust. Pirates accidentally hacked this programming, created an environment where justice equals survival, and brains responded with loyalty, courage, and efficiency, while kings tried to force loyalty with fear and punishment and failed. Because you can't fool the amygdala. It knows when it's being screwed. So next time your boss earns 300x your salary, remember, your brain is right to be pissed. It's not envy, it's iniquity aversion, a healthy evolutionary response. And if someone says the world has always been unfair, show them that pirates managed to do better. Comment below. Would you work for your boss or for Black Bart? Be honest with your amygdala. If you liked it, like. If not, RR, let your prefrontal cortex decide. See you next time. And remember, cooperation isn't weakness. It's science. Bye.
If you like this adventure, click like and subscribe to the channel. And now, goodbye!